I'm Dr. Bruce Katz. I'm the director of the JUVA Skin and Laser Center. Today I'd like to talk about SculpSure. You may have heard about this new procedure. SculpSure is a laser that non-invasively melts fat, and it only takes 25 minutes. Another big advantage of SculpSure is that we can actually treat 4 areas at the same time. It actually has these 4 applicators that we put on like a belt, basically. So we can put 2 on the abdomen and then 2 on either hip and treat those areas at the same time. What it actually does is it sends laser beams under the surface of the skin and targets just the fat cells. So it destroys the fat cells and then the body excretes it naturally. We find, in addition to melting the fat, we do get some tightening of the skin at the same time. Most people need 1 or 2 treatments, and it really depends on how thick the fat layer is. Most of the time, we can take away about 25% of the thickness of the fat layer at each treatment. It feels like a warm current going through the skin. It's really not terribly uncomfortable. It's perfectly tolerable, and it only takes about 25 minutes. Well, there are really no side effects for this procedure. People say sometimes it feels like they've had a workout after, but they can go right back to work immediately after the procedure, and there's really no downtime. We can actually treat the upper arms, we can treat the abdomen, the breasts in men, the hips, outer thighs, inner thighs, and even the knees. How does it compare to that freezing technique called Coolsculpting? Well, with SculpSure, you don't have that tingling or numb sensation after, which can last several weeks after Coolsculpting. SculpSure, you walk out after, you feel like you've had nothing done. There have been some side effects described recently with Coolsculpting, what's called adipose hyperplasia. Instead of people losing fat, they actually gain fat, and their abdomen or their hips get bigger than before the treatment. And the only way to deal with that is to do liposuction on it. And we've had to do that on a few patients who've come from other offices after having Coolsculpting and ended up with a bigger abdomen rather than a smaller one. The big advantage of coming to JUVA for your SculpSure treatment is that we did the FDA trials and have the most experience of any doctor except for 1 or 2 in this entire country, if not the world. We compare it to an iPhone. It wasn't the first way to remove fat non-invasively, but we feel it's really the most effective with the least amount of side effects, and it only takes 25 minutes.